Chang Noi here. It's been about, well, just over 6 months since I came to Thailand with my retirement visa. I thought I'd give you a little update about how things are going, just so you know how you might go yourself. I'll probably put an overlay over this video so you're not looking at my face the whole time. My sticky out ears, mind you, that light behind is quite annoying, isn't it? Um, First thing I suppose to talk about is visa and immigration. I got the visa through One Stop with Mark and Co. On Soy 6. Initial 15-month visa, and it's got I paid as well something like 5,000 for a multi-entry, which is really great because I've been to Laos, I've been to Vietnam, I've been back to Australia and Singapore. So every time, I just come back in the country with a visa, it's no problem whatsoever. There's no extra payment or anything. So it's probably well worth getting that multi-entry if you intend to leave the country more than once or twice, which, let's face it, you could do for, circumstances could happen. Maybe you have to go home for some reason, or you just want to meet somebody in a different country. Like I want to go and meet a friend in Vietnam in November. So again, easy. So no problems whatsoever. 90-day reporting, I haven't had to do it yet because every time I've left the country, it's been within that 90 days. And when you come back to the country again, your 90 days restarts again. So I do expect to have to do it probably in December if I don't go and see my friend in Vietnam in November. But that's a minor point, and the agent, if you use an agent, mine will sort it out for me. So that's it. Day-to-day living. I suppose talking about my expenses, I'm still a little bit living like a two-week millionaire. I'm spending a bit more than I wanted to spend on certain things that maybe I shouldn't be spending money on. But I'm trying to be a bit frugal. I'm doing a lot of, well, most of my own cooking, which saves a lot of money. Having said that, some of the stuff here can be pretty dear, especially the expat stuff. If you buy it from somewhere like Villa, which has a lot of expat stuff, it is expensive. When you're talking about a massive markup there. So it does pay to go and shop around. Like I go to a little shop called, I think it's called Pig and Chicken on Soy Cow, and I can get my meat there for quite a decent price. Decent, like yesterday I bought 2 kilos of pork mince, kilo of chicken mince, 8 chicken Marylands, 30 eggs. What else did I buy? Oh, a couple of strip loins of pork for less than 1,000 baht, which is pretty damn good. So say I cook myself, which takes up some of my time. Other than that, day-to-day living, bills, water bill is nothing. I live in this studio unit, and I think it's about 120 baht a month for the water. Electric, it works out. We'll put it this way: I have my aircon on 24/7, set at 24 degrees, so the place is always cool. I mean, 24 degrees isn't necessarily my best sleeping temperature. I have a big fan to keep me cooler, also turn it down. But it averages about 3,000 baht for a month, and that's nothing really. You think about it. When you come back into your room and it's nice and cool, it's a big bonus. You could put it on a timer and probably save a bit of money. I tried doing that for a month, and something, I saved about 1,000 baht, but really 1,000 baht, seriously, it's nothing honestly, unless you're really really living on a really tight budget and living in a cheap room as well. I'm not. I'm living in a 20,000 baht a month room, but it suits me. It's right in the middle of, I suppose, the action, which is good and bad, but it's also right beside so many 7-Elevens, so many other shops. The markets, the pick and chicken place to shop for my food. It's just a great place to stay. It has the costs. So, I mean, I do intend to probably, well, I do intend to, I suppose, pull in the reins a little bit and not spend so much. It's it's a willpower thing. I mean, yeah, if you have it, you'll spend it. Uh, just on that, I have decided to buy something off plan in Jomtien, which is ready in a couple of years' time. I decided that Pattaya, Jomtien, this area is definitely for me. So I'll be putting down permanent roots here. Hobbies and what I do to keep interested. I don't really have any hobbies, to be honest with you. Uh, I mean, I do go to the gym. I should go to the gym every day, but I don't. I just go when I want to. And the same, I've got a massive 80-meter pool out there, and I just use it when I suppose when I want to, as opposed to when I should, which should be every day. But I do a fair bit of stuff online, watch a lot of YouTube stuff, I don't really have any other hobbies, to be honest with you, apart from drinking and other things. I really should get into something. I recently contacted a rugby club over on the dark side, and I asked them if I could do something for them because I've actually got a really bad back at the moment, which stops me doing things like walking too far or running. And I've asked them if I can maybe help out with some stuff because I've always found over the years that rugby clubs have a really good, decent set of people of all sort of like, I suppose, backgrounds. And yeah, everybody's got a fairly, it's got the same idea about things, which you think would be the same in Pattaya, but I'll go on to that in a little bit as well. Um, I might think about. I was thinking about joining Hash House Harriers. If you don't know what that is, I think the motto is it's a club for drinkers with a running problem. That's what it is. Yeah. Um, but you actually have to do some walking or running, and walking, I say, is a problem with me at the moment. I've had quite a bit of treatment in Vietnam, Australia, and here, and it's just I think degenerative. My discs in my spine are gone, and I've got bad sciatica. You can only do so much. Just treated with painkillers, unfortunately. Um, I suppose that goes on to friends. I haven't. I've got a couple of friends here who are long-standing friends I've known for a long time. I haven't made any new male friends in Pattaya. I've been on a few forums and voluntarily kicked myself off them because, to be honest with you, I'm serious. There are some real fucking wankers in Pattaya. They really are. You don't know. You think everybody here has a common sort of thought and sense and purpose, but they don't. There's a lot of, first of all, a lot of, I suppose, what you call them, sheep sharks. This, I suppose, came out during COVID when people, you think people would be independent thinkers and suddenly they couldn't think for themselves and were almost pleading to get, locked down and restrictions put on them. And what you find now is you get certain strong personalities in these forums, and they have a certain point of view. And if you argue with it at all, even if you show them, that they're wrong, then all the fucking sheep wolf sharks come out of the woodwork, never make a post, but suddenly they attack you en masse. And I just couldn't be bothered with the arseholes. It just, what's the point? They're people who I wouldn't be friends with in real life, I say real life, in my previous life, I suppose, in Australia. So I'd be friends with them here. And the same with some other groups as well. I've met people there. I thought, oh yeah, but again, they're the same. They're very, very narrow-minded in their thinking. And again, they're stuck in their ways as well. Not prepared to think a bit laterally about things. It's just their way or no way. So I really couldn't be arsed having people like that and calling them friends if they're not friends. To me, a friend is somebody who not necessarily thinks the same way as I do. I have a few friends who they have opposite politics from me and think opposite from me, but we're good friends and we can talk about things together and get on. But some of these people, no. So I'm hoping with the rugby club that I might make a few friends, people I can talk to. Having said that, I'm not particularly worried. It doesn't really matter. Uh, and I'm probably not a person who makes friends easily either. People make friends with me. I don't make friends with other people, if that makes sense. I don't really feel the need to be around other people. Not that I'm antisocial or anything. I do love going out. I go out every day, even though I shouldn't. But anyway, that's just me. Any disadvantages about living in Pattaya? No, nothing. Like early, in the first couple of months, say I had my wallet stolen on a bat bus, which is why I always now, use my trusty shoulder bag here, all zipped up, but nothing else. Everything here is easy. I use Grab taxis. Grab is fantastic. Not Grab, sorry, Bolt taxi. I use Grab in Singapore. Bolt is really, really good. Just one thing, you can link Bolt to a card, but for some reason my Bangkok bank card doesn't work with Bolt, and it's not just me; other people as well have had it rejected. So I use one of my home cards, debit cards, and people say, "Oh, why don't you use cash? Cash isn't king in Patty anymore. It really isn't. It's so much handier. If you got 1,000 baht on you and you have no change, and you want to get a taxi home or a Bolt home, it's going to cost 80 baht. You give the driver 1,000 baht, he hasn't got change. There's no chance, you know. But with the automatic payment, it's so easy. And the same with QR codes from your bank. So cash is not king. And I just use cash sometimes because I can to think today I want to budget myself rather than just using my QR code on my phone to pay for things because that's so much easier. So yeah, bat buses I use still some of the odd time, but yeah, I suppose Bolt is my main transport. Bills, as I said before, um, electricity's, it's not. I wouldn't say it's the cheapest place in the world. It's not the dearest place in the world either. But to me, $120 or 3,000 baht a month is probably about what I pay in Australia. But I decided a long, long, long time ago when I first came to Northern Australia, Darwin, where it's tropical like Pattaya, that I would not be uncomfortable and I would use the aircon if I wanted to use the aircon. Same as when I lived in the UK, I had my central heating turned up full much the whole time, in winter and even the autumn, probably spring as well. So I decided I wasn't going to be uncomfortable. So I don't mind paying that. The only thing is that paying electric bill with Bangkok Bank app isn't possible. So you have to find a ways and means. And I would advise anybody, if they can, to get onto True Money. And it takes a wee bit of while sometimes. I think I was rejected 3 or 4 times. The passport photograph when you scan it, it wasn't accepted or something like that. Yeah, but it's really, really useful. True, you can spend, especially if you've got a True phone account as well. You can just transfer money to that. But you can pay electric bill with True, and you can pay in 7-Eleven with True. It's all scanned QR code. So overall, yeah, it's been a really enjoyable 6 months. I'm looking forward to the next 6 months. I'm looking forward to the next 10, 15 years, hopefully, if my liver lasts that long. Um, so yeah, all I'd say is, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. That's it for now. So thanks for listening. I'll see ya.